One story, 5 minutes, and a fact almost nobody knows. This is Facts in 5. August 21st, 1986. A market town in the green hills of Cameroon goes to sleep after a completely ordinary evening. The next morning, a man rides his bicycle into town and stops. Nothing is moving. Nothing is making a sound. 1,746 people never woke up. And on every single one of them, not a scratch. No storm, no violence, no disease. Whatever swept through these valleys was invisible, and it came from that beautiful blue lake. The few survivors told the same impossible story. They simply fell asleep and woke up almost a full day later. Lamps had burned out where they stood. Meals sat untouched on tables. Even the flies were gone. The silence itself was a clue. Then someone looked at the water. Overnight, the lake had changed color, from deep blue to rust red. Officials feared an epidemic. Others whispered about chemical weapons. Scientists from 3 continents dropped everything and flew in. Local legend had warned for generations about lakes that explode. Outsiders dismissed it as myth. They shouldn't have. Because 2 years earlier, at a smaller lake nearby, 37 more were lost. 37 people were lost in one night, the exact same way. Nobody connected it. The teams tested everything. No toxins, no radiation, no disease. Every single test came back normal. Then they sampled the deep water. The moment the bottle surfaced, it erupted like shaken champagne. The bottom of the lake was loaded with carbon dioxide. Beneath the lake sits a sleeping volcano. And for centuries it had been quietly leaking gas into the deepest water. 500 billion liters of gas, dissolved and locked in place by the weight of the water above. A soda bottle the size of a valley. For centuries, the trap held. So the question that terrified scientists wasn't what the gas was. It was, what pulled the trigger? The best suspect. A rock slide on the crater wall, punching into the deep water like a fist into a full glass. Whatever it was, on that August night, the deep water began to rise, and the bottle opened. A column of water and gas exploded 100 meters into the night sky. And that was only the beginning. Quick pause. We open one of these files every single day, in 5 minutes flat. Subscribe so tomorrow's is waiting for you. Now, back to the mystery. In minutes, the lake released more than a cubic kilometer of carbon dioxide, a cloud heavier than the air itself. And heavy gas doesn't rise. It flows downhill, silently, like a river you cannot see. It moved at up to 70 kilometers per hour, hugging the ground, filling valley after valley, 25 kilometers from the lake. It made almost no sound. People sleeping in its path felt nothing at all. The air simply stopped being air. That's why there were no wounds and no struggle, and why everyone on high ground woke up completely untouched. And the red water? The eruption dragged iron-rich water up from the depths. When it met the air, the lake rusted. Every impossible detail from that morning traced back to one thing: a single silent breath from the bottom of a lake. But solving the mystery revealed something worse. Deep below, the gas was already building again. So engineers tried something that had never been done in history. They gave the lake a permanent exhale. A pipe to the bottom, started once with a pump, then powered forever by the rising gas itself. A man-made geyser, running day and night. Today, 3 pipes bleed the pressure around the clock, and sensors watch the deep water constantly. Lake Nyos is finally quiet. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. There is another lake like this one, and it's 1,000 times bigger. Lake Kivu, between Rwanda and Congo. 2 million people live on its shores, above vastly more gas, plus methane. Scientists watch it constantly, and engineers now harvest that methane for electricity, slowly diffusing the bomb while it powers the cities beside it. The deadliest disaster in Cameroon's history made no sound at all. Nature's most dangerous weapons aren't always loud. Today, the villages around Lake Nyos are alive again, resettled, warned, and watched over by the science that once arrived too late. The lake keeps its beauty, science keeps its watch, and the water keeps a memory, 1,700 names long. One file closes, the next is already glowing. Tomorrow, a crater in the desert that has been burning for 50 years because of one mistake. See you in 5.